Today's gonna be a good day. Autumn is my favorite season. I'm up here in the mountains. The colors are beautiful. I think I'm going to talk about a few idioms related to hiking and mountains, that kind of stuff. So let's get going. So the first thing to know about mountain idioms is that mountains, because they're so big and such a struggle, that they're often used metaphorically to represent a very difficult task. So if someone is talking about climbing a mountain, they're talking about having to accomplish something very difficult. One thing you might hear is climbing to the mountaintop in business, meaning working up the business ladder. You're trying to get promoted, make more money, work your way up in the company. Similarly, you might hear someone talking about an uphill climb, also meaning there's a struggle. There's a lot of obstacles, and it must be a very difficult thing to accomplish. We're on a bit of an uphill climb right now. A mountain can also represent a very large amount of something. So you might hear in police investigations that there is a mountain of evidence against this person, meaning there is a lot of it. You might also hear he is a mountain of a man, meaning he's a very large man. So mountains, of course, are huge, so they can be used to describe size. Making a mountain out of a molehill is another idiom related to size. So a mole is like a little mouse, kind of does a lot of digging. And when it digs, it has a little bit of soil, just a little tiny thing like that. So if you're making a mountain out of a molehill, you're trying to make a little mole's hill sound like it's much larger than it is. So making a mountain out of a molehill means like exaggeration. You're trying to make it something that it's not. Try to make it more special than it actually is. Moving mountains is when you accomplish something that's very, very difficult, almost impossible. So if someone's trying to move mountains, they're probably trying to do something that's probably impossible. A less common phrase is having snow on the mountain. In this case, the mountain is your head. As you can imagine, the snow is white hair. Now, I don't have that problem. There's also a proverb that says, if the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad must go to the mountain. This proverb is about being adaptable and changing plans. So if something's not possible, you need to find a way to make it possible. Mountains are some of the oldest things in the world. So if someone says it's as ancient as the hills, they're saying that it's been that way for a long, long time. Now, if someone tells you to take a hike, you should probably leave. Telling someone to take a hike means you want them to go. Like, go away. So a lot of the idioms and sayings that we have about mountains are about a struggle. So if you make it to the top of the mountain, that must mean you've completed the impossible task. You've done something very difficult. And it just so happens that we are also at the top of the mountain. So we're coming back down the mountain now. You just say a mountain is a large hill. So we're over the hill. Now the reason why that's funny to me is because over the hill means that you are no longer useful or just old. And a lot of people say that your 40s is when you become over the hill. I'm just about there. I also thought of another thing we could talk about. Not being able to see the forest through the trees. The trees are specific details. The forest is like the big picture, life in general, things, how things are going. So sometimes it's difficult to keep an eye on the big picture, to keep an eye on what's going on in your life when you're consumed by looking at the details of everything. That's why sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees. Well, we made it down. We finished hiking the mountain. We climbed to the mountaintop. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the hike as much as I did. It was a lovely day. See you next time.